Hello and welcome to Japanese for Beginners, the online course where you'll practice speaking Japanese from day one. You're watching Level 1, Lesson 1. Greetings. In this lesson, you'll learn how to greet people in Japanese. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to take part in the following dialogue. Ohayou gozaimasu, Mike-san. Ohayou gozaimasu, Tanaka Sensei. Before we begin, let's talk a little bit about Japanese vowels. There are only 5 vowel sounds in Japanese. A, I, U, E, O. Let's practice saying each one. A. A. I. I. U. U. E. E. O. O. In addition to these 5 vowel sounds, you'll encounter long versions of each vowel. When pronouncing a long vowel, you would simply extend the vowel for an extra syllable. See if you can hear the difference between a short A and a long A. Oba-san, Oba-san. In this course, whenever you see a double vowel, you'll pronounce it as a long vowel. Note that an EI combination often creates a long E sound, and an OU combination often creates a long O sound. The first phrase we'll learn in this video is good morning, which in Japanese is Ohayou. Ohayou. Remember that an OU combination usually creates a long O sound in Japanese. Listen closely and repeat. Ohayou. Ohayou. Ohayou is a casual way to say good morning to close friends and family members. A more polite way to say good morning is Ohayou gozaimasu. Ohayou gozaimasu. You might notice that we don't really pronounce the final U vowel sound at the end of Ohayou gozaimasu. When speaking Japanese, it's common for the I and U vowel sounds to get dropped. Ohayou gozaimasu. Ohayou gozaimasu. The name Mike in Japanese is pronounced Maiku. Maiku. When referring to others in Japanese, we usually add a title to the end of their name to show respect. The most common title is san. San. San is similar to the titles Mr. or Mrs. in English. So, we could refer to Mike as Mike-san. Mike-san. What would be a casual way to say good morning to Mike? Ohayou, Mike-san. Ohayou, Mike-san. What would be a polite way to say good morning to Mike? Ohayou gozaimasu, Mike-san. Ohayou gozaimasu, Mike-san. A common last name in Japan is Tanaka. Tanaka. The word for teacher in Japanese is sensei. Sensei. Again, in Japanese, whenever you see an EI combination, you'll usually pronounce it as an elongated E sound. Sensei. Sensei. Sensei is used as a title for professions like instructors, doctors, and authors. So, if your Japanese teacher's last name is Tanaka, you would refer to her as Tanaka Sensei. Tanaka Sensei. Let's say you're walking into Japanese class. What would be a polite way to say, "Good morning, Tanaka Sensei"? Ohayou gozaimasu, Tanaka Sensei. Ohayou gozaimasu, Tanaka Sensei. To say hello or good afternoon in Japanese, we would say Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. Make sure to clearly pronounce the n sound in the middle. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. If you already know hiragana, notice that we pronounce the ha character as wa at the end of konnichiwa. How would you say, "Good afternoon, Mike-san"? Konnichiwa, Mike-san. Konnichiwa, Mike-san. How would you say, "Good afternoon, Tanaka Sensei"? Konnichiwa, Tanaka Sensei. Konnichiwa, Tanaka Sensei. Good evening in Japanese is konbanwa. Konbanwa. Again, we pronounce the ha character as wa at the end of konbanwa, just like with konnichiwa. Let's say you run into Mike on the way home from work. How would you say, "Good evening, Mike-san"? Konbanwa, Mike-san. Konbanwa, Mike-san. How would you say, "Good evening, Tanaka Sensei"? Konbanwa, Tanaka Sensei. Konbanwa, Tanaka Sensei. Let's talk a little bit about bowing. The word for bowing in Japanese is ojigi. Bowing is a way to show respect to those around you. It's often said that the deeper the bow, the more respect you show. Here are some of the different types of bows and when you would use them. Eshaku is a simple head bow, about 15 degrees, that you would use when politely greeting someone. Keire is a bow about 30 degrees that you would use in formal or business settings. Saikeire is a bow about 45 degrees that you would use in a formal apology or to show the utmost respect to someone. In professional settings, men usually bow with their arms to the side and women usually bow with their arms in front. Lastly, with close friends and family members, you can greet them with a wave instead of a bow. We learned how to say 3 different Japanese greetings. Let's review the dialogue from this lesson. What would be a polite way to say, "Good morning, Mike-san"? Ohayou gozaimasu, Mike-san. Ohayou gozaimasu, Mike-san. What would be a polite way to say, "Good morning, Tanaka Sensei"? Ohayou gozaimasu, Tanaka Sensei. Ohayou gozaimasu, Tanaka Sensei. How would you say, "Good afternoon, Mike-san"? Konnichiwa, Mike-san. Konnichiwa, Mike-san. How would you say, "Good afternoon, Tanaka Sensei"? Konnichiwa, Tanaka Sensei. こんにちは、田中先生。How would you say, good evening, Mike-san? こんばんは、マイクさん。こんばんは、マイクさん。How would you say, good evening, 田中先生？こんばんは、田中先生。こんばんは、田中先生。よくできました。